Welcome everybody, good afternoon everybody, buon pomeriggio a tutti. Welcome to the second Cypriot-Italian Health Industry Forum, organized by the Italian-Cypriot Chamber of Commerce with the support of Union Camera and the Cypriot Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The event is under the auspices of the Embassy of Italy. We have here His Excellency the Ambassador, Mr. Cavallari, and also under the auspices of the Republic of Cyprus Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Cyprus-Italian Business Association of the Chamber of Commerce. I will start by saying that we all know that we were hoping that this event during the first health forum to which some of you were participating, we were hoping that this one would take place physically. Let's focus on our prayers and our hopes that at least the third one will take place physically. In any case, the good thing is that we have an excellent panel of speakers that will present the developments on the topic that will be discussed today, which is innovation, economics, and management in the health industry, models of excellence and international cooperation. I will give the floor for the opening remarks, starting for the president of our president of the Italian-Cypriot Chamber of Commerce. Giuseppe, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Kostas. Thanks. Buon pomeriggio a tutti. Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for your presence. It's a great pleasure to open this forum today. That is the second edition of the Cypriot-Italian Health Industry Forum. As Kostas said, the idea was to have a physical event, but considering the circumstances, we switched to an online event, hoping that the third edition next year will be in physical presence. This forum is co-organized with the Cyprus Chamber of Commerce. Is under the auspice of the, as you said, the Embassy of Italy, and I offer my thanks to the Ambassador Andrea Cavallari that for the presence. Is also under the auspice of the Ministry of Health of the Republic of Cyprus. We will see a message by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministries, Dr. Cristina Iannacchi. And I also offer my thanks to all the authoritative speakers that will be present today, representing universities. We will have the Campus Biomedico of Rome, and we will have the University of Nicosia, and also we will have some operator from the industry. That already, some of them that already started cooperation with Cyprus companies. So we can say that after the first edition of the forum last week, we had development. We had concrete and important developments in terms of cooperation. And this is the aim of the chamber. In one sector that we believe is one of the most important in terms of potential of cooperation, because it's not just health sector, but is innovation in health. So it's really important for us to consider these two words together. I also I thanks also we will have a message from the Secretary General of the Cyprus Chamber of Commerce, and we will have also in the institutional greeting Mr. Claudio Pasqualucci, that represents the Italian Trade Agency, the Beirut office of the Italian Trade Agency, in charge also for Cyprus. Together with one, we started an excellent cooperation, and we are working closely to support the Italian presence in Cyprus and in the area. Before to close this short introduction, I would like to say that is really important for us, and this is a message also for the operator of the industry, to not consider just Cyprus as a country, as a market, but also the Mediterranean area. So to consider Cyprus as an hub for the development of the operation, also in the specific sector, sector that we are discussing today. So thank you, everybody. Thanks again for your presence. Please.
Thank you, Giuseppe. We can continue with the opening remarks from Mr. Pasqualucci, Director of the Italian Trade Agency in Beirut, responsible for Cyprus, Lebanon, and Syria, with a very important role in the area. Claudio, thank you for your presence. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Kostas. Ambassador, good to see you again after a few days spent together last week in Cyprus, Giuseppe, and thank you to all of you. It has been a pleasure to be invited to say a few words on the Italian sector of the medical devices, because I believe this is an important occasion to present our industry to our friends from Cyprus. As you know, as we all know, Cyprus, it's a growing economy after a few years of slowdown, and I could have seen in the last occasion that I visited the island that there is indeed a growing activity, there's a growing welfare, and then the forthcoming European programs, the PNRR, of course, will boost this growth. So we believe that knowing a little bit more of our industry in the medical devices, the medical sector, maybe would give some suggestions to the companies from Cyprus to look at what Italy can offer to trade more, to invest more, but also to create joint operations. As Mr. Meridas, my friend Giuseppe, was saying, the Cyprus, it's an important economy, but it's also a very safe and convenient hub in this moment in the Eastern Mediterranean area. As we know, I'm from Beirut, so I know how difficult countries are, and we all know that this part of the world has an immense wealth, but at the same time is experiencing several problems. So looking at Cyprus as a safe harbor, as a hub to do business, to do something which can be useful for the whole area, I think would be an important choice. So let's see how in the next month, also with the support of the European Union programs, how this path will continue. But I strongly believe that Cyprus could be a very important again, positioning place for our companies. I don't want to bother you with many numbers, so if you allow me, I will share just 3 slides very quickly, just to give you the dimension, the width of our sector, because it's an important sector. We, in Italy, the medical devices sector, medical sector, generally speaking, as a value, as a gross production nearly of 17 billion euros. And now we start sharing just a couple of slides, just to give you an idea. Okay, so this is the first. I don't know. Can you see? I think no. Okay, this is the first one. These are figures that come from last year. So before the COVID year. So the figures that you will be seeing now probably will be even more increased, because unfortunately the COVID pandemic has boosted this sector, unfortunately, but still it is a sector that has been extremely responsive to the emergency, and the important results we are experiencing in Italy and Europe are mainly due to the characteristic, the innovation of our medical sector. As I mentioned before, we are talking about a value of 17 billion euros last year, which is made by more than 4,000 companies. About the half of that they produce. Some other around 2,000 distribute, and some other are in the collateral services. The sector employs 95,000 employees, which is a good number given our structure. And among these companies, we can see we have 3,700 53 national companies, meaning Italian companies, and then only 500 foreign companies which work in Italy. It is important also to stress a little bit about the nature, the dimension of this company. We have only 5% which are can be called in the family of big pharma, meaning companies that have more than 50 billions of yearly revenues. But the rest, I mean 95% are small and medium-sized companies, including startups. It means that there are companies that, in order to be competitive, either in our country or to external markets, need to liaise together, need to create consortia, need to create cluster, and this is happening. We have a couple of representatives here in the panel of discussion today, which are an example of how the small and medium Italian companies are joining together and are targeting the foreign market. Another, if I can, I don't know if I can do it. Yes, okay. So you can see also this other slide, right? Okay. So also you see here in some figures the dimension again, and here is split how we do, how much is invested in R&D, which percentage in the public health, which other in the private sector. So this is to say that Italy has a very important public sector for the health system, but also this boosted by a very strong component of the private initiatives. There are several agreements that make the two worlds talking together, but also I would like also to mention the fact, very important, that this sector, and regarding what we're talking today, it is a sector whose industry is extremely articulated in the world scenario. We have roughly 40 billions of import of trade balance which different countries. So it means that we are indeed a country that is opening to invest abroad, to export abroad, but at the same time we receive quite consistent investments for abroad of companies which are let me say the word, using our know-how, our technology to enhance their production. So it is a structure, it is a sector which is extremely updated as an important value in terms of research and development, is innovative. It has lying a little bit on the ground an important tissue of startups which are coming up very, very swiftly. We cover several programs for Italian startups, and I've seen that many of them are in the health sector, and they're ready to also to cooperate with Cyprus, and they're ready to cooperate with partners all over the world. I think I will conclude now because I don't want to bore you with some more numbers, but I just wanted to show these figures in order to have a clear understanding of what we're talking about. And again, thank you very much, and it is a pleasure for me to be here with you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudio, for your visualized intervention, if I may say, which was very informative and to the point. We will proceed with the address of His Excellency, the Ambassador of Italy in Cyprus, Mr. Cavallari. Mr. Cavallari, please.
Thank you, Konstantinos. Thank you, Mr. Vice President Katsaros, and good afternoon to all of you. Good afternoon, in particular, to Dr. Marino, President of the Chamber. Once again, I'm very pleased to be part of a very valuable initiative promoted by the Chamber of Commerce and the Italian-Cypriot Chamber of Commerce. Very valuable for the number of panelists, it has been mentioned before, but also for because it's extremely timely initiative. Seeing from the point of view of an institution, this initiative brings a very concrete proposal to the business community. And the choice of the health sector is a perfect choice in our view. It follows other initiatives that the Chamber has already taken in the past, with the first forum, one of the first initiatives promoted by the Chamber. Follow up also by discussion during the business forum late this year in September, at the presence of the Ministry of Energy of Cyprus during our visit in Italy. And it is an extremely timely initiative also because it responds to the needs of our countries. Not only because of the pandemics, this is very easy to say, but I will stress the importance of the health sector in countries that are so different, for different reasons. We are confronted in Italy with an aging population. We have inequality in the health system in the territory. So at the same time, we have a number of companies which are at the point, at the very height of the sector. And thank you, Dr. Pasqualucci, director of the Italian agency, trade agency in Lebanon, also competent for Cyprus, for reminding us the key factors, the key figures of a very interesting sector operating in Italy. I, in particular, stress a couple of elements of his presentation: the importance of the production sector, the production element, the importance of the national part of it. Of course, the multinational are there, and they are big companies, but the Italian system is also a medium-sized company, extremely active and export-oriented. And then this cooperation is public and private, this presence of public sector and private sector. But I was saying different needs in different countries. Cyprus, a smaller market, but with a strategic position in the Mediterranean that make it very interesting and appealing for all those who are interested in projecting their activity in the Middle East area and around the island. A country that offers also for company many reasons to come to this country, to Cyprus, not only fiscal from a fiscal point of view, but for the general situation of the country, the skills of the operators, the presence of a number of human resources that are extremely useful for the business. And also a challenge in Cyprus as well in Italy, but even more here, which is the reform of the national health sector with the recent introduction of the so-called GESI, which brings the public sector into the position of the need to reform, to look at the innovation and invest in this matter. To end my presentation, timely initiative also because of the immense presence of funds of financement coming from European Union. The Resilience and Recovery Fund represent a fantastic occasion for all our countries, all European member states. It's a fantastic occasion for business to invest, to make profit from this support coming from the institutions, and look at the possibility to develop the third millenary, if I can say so, health sector, which looks certainly to innovation as one of the main pillars, and where the most advanced technology are what will make the difference, together with the equipment and the collaboration with the university and research. And again, we have excellent panelists that will address this matter today. There are certainly many other things to underline, but I don't want to take much of your time. Let me also conclude by saying that this is most probably my last occasion to address the Chamber of Commerce in my capacity of Italian ambassador in Cyprus. My term in this wonderful country has come to an end. It has been a fantastic experience. I have experimented a country where the growth before the pandemic was one of the most important, the economic growth was one of the most important in the European area, a country which has recovered from a terrible financial crisis in extremely short time, which shows the capacity of Cyprus to do business in a fantastic and very effective way. I think that with the partnership that it can be offered by the Italian companies, companies that are by their DNA interested into the export market because of their assets, because of their size, because of their knowledge and connection in technology areas. I think that we have here the possibility of doing business together in a very efficient way. And I'm sure that the Chamber, which has been in a way one of the most important elements during my tenure. I have seen it starting a couple of years ago and developing a very interesting activity in a very broad area, but with a very intelligent focus on some, and health sector is certainly one. I'm sure that with the help of the Chamber, all these potentialities of business will become a reality. And I wish you all the best. And I'm sure that the Embassy of Italy, my successor, my team here in Nicosia, will continue to be extremely supportive, together with the Italian Trade Agency in Beirut, of your efforts. So thank you so much for having me, and good luck.
Thank you, Your Excellency, and on the occasion, on behalf of everybody in the Chamber, I would like to thank you for the great support that you offered to the Chamber and the warm welcoming of all our activities, the close collaboration that we had, and the crucial role in developing the Chamber into what it is today. As we were discussing with Giuseppe, once an honorary president, always an honorary president. So I think that this is the message for you. I don't like if Giuseppe would like to intervene here.
Just to say to the Ambassador Cavallari a big thank you for the support that the concrete support that from the beginning of the Chamber that gave us from the beginning of our journey as a the Cypriot-Italian Chamber. And yes, of course, also in its quality, because we did this choice. So the pro tempore ambassador are the honorary chamber of the Chamber. So it is really important for us that the Ambassador Cavallari was the first on the Italian part, the first honorary president of the Chamber. So it's always honorary presidents. Thank you, Ambassador Cavallari.
Listen, the address speech that is also recorded, as far as I understand, from the Director General of the Ministry of Health of the Republic of Cyprus, Dr. Christina Giannaki. I can say from a personal experience that for those of you who don't know Ms. Giannaki, I have to say that, and I'm telling this from a personal experience, that we couldn't have a more close to the problems approach than the one that is offered for Dr. Giannaki. Everyone in Cyprus knows how close she has been on the cases of people that had any health issues, serious health issues. So I would like to give a big thank you to Dr. Giannaki, who I understand is not here with us, but viewing that she will give the address speech, I said that I owe it to her personally. So let's see if we can listen her message too.
Great pleasure that I address the second Health Forum, Cyprus, Italy, Innovation, Economics and Management in the Health Industry. Model of excellence and international cooperation, which is organized by the Cyprus Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The forum aims to promote and strengthen professional and economic relations between Italy and Cyprus in the healthcare sector, focusing on health innovation and health economics and management. European countries cooperate on frequent basis and cross-border business cooperation in the field of health can bring significant benefits and synergies to the states, boosting the process of exchange of know-how, health technology, and further possibility of cooperation between our countries. It is evident that the strengthening of the health sector provides significant benefits to our state, both in social and economic terms in the long run. The health sector in Cyprus, both the public and private one, has significant human resources, equipment, and infrastructure allocated to it in our country. The health services are of a high standard, and the level of medical care provided are favorably compared in several cases with those of other European countries. We have the opportunity to claim and attract tourists who also want to exploit their visit for health and well-being purpose. Our approach to the issue is aligned with the position of the Cyprus Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and in this direction, the Ministry of Health has cooperated with the Cyprus Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We look forward to the strengthening of this specialized form of tourism, which we expect that will increase the tourist flow of Cyprus. Also, this will alleviate the problem of seasonality. We are very pleased with the organization of the present conference, and I look forward with interest to your findings and suggestions. It would have been an omission not to congratulate the Cyprus Chamber of Industry of Cyprus for organizing today's conference. I welcome the distinguished speaker who are with us today to exchange view and experience on the subject along with the Cypriot expert and stakeholders. I wish you every success in the conference. Thank you very much.
In the schedule, originally we have had an opening remark from the General Secretary of the Cypriot Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Tsakis. I understand that he will be represented by Mr. Paschalidis from the Chamber, so I will give the floor to Mr. Paschalidis for this message. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Ambassador Cavallari, dear Giuseppe, President of the Italian-Cypriot Chamber of Commerce, distinguished speakers and guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a true pleasure to address on behalf of the Cyprus Chamber of Commerce and Industry this very interesting forum you're organizing today on the health industry, a sector that is growing at a very firm and steady pace in Cyprus. The implementation of our national health system has positioned the health industry at the forefront of economic activity on the island, and I do believe there are tremendous possibilities for cooperation between Cyprus and Italy in this field. It is not my role here today to analyze these potentials, as the great lineup of speakers that we have with us today are more appropriate for this task. I'm sure a lot of valuable information will be delivered to the participants. Throughout the years, the Cyprus Chamber of Commerce and Industry has been an advocate, but also a leader in the promotion of the bilateral relations of Cyprus and the Cypriot business community with many countries abroad through the work of over 40 bilateral business associations, one of which is, of course, the Cyprus-Italian Business Association. It is my pleasure to announce that Mr. Kostas Katsaros, who is moderating the event today, has taken on the presidency of the association, something that creates great potential for cooperation between the two organizations. We hope and want the association and the chamber to take an active role in attracting bilateral investments, promoting bilateral trade, and in general, exploring various avenues for cooperation. In closing, I would like to take a moment of your time to thank Ambassador Cavallari for his excellent and hard work throughout his tenure in Cyprus. His departure saddens us. He's leaving behind a tremendous legacy for his successor, with whom we expect to develop an equally effective cooperation. Mr. Cavallari, on behalf of the Cyprus Chamber of Commerce and Industry, thank you and all the very best. Congratulations to Giuseppe and the organizers for the initiative and for making this event a reality. Thank you all for being here with us today, and hope you enjoy the deliberations of the event.
Let's try to follow the schedule, and I would like to kindly request from all the panelists to try to stay on time as we faced the technical issues that led to a small delay. I will take this opportunity to address the first speaker, kindly asking from Professor Paolo Pozzilli from the Department of Endocrinology and Diabetes of the Campus Biomedical University of Rome to give us some of his wisdom with regards to his sector, and to thank the university for participating on this event on behalf of the Chamber. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Katsaros. Let me thank, of course, for the invitation to talk today. And I'm going to discuss with you briefly why education represents a key factor of the potential of developing a health program that could be really linked to the development of industry and development of new activities. So it's my experience of 25 years in the UK at Barts and the London School of Medicine, in addition to Campus Biomedical. Okay, so this is my name and the department where I work with. Okay, globalization is a new opportunity to study medicine. Remember that wherever you're going to study, you study locally. And medicine has been a very well-established type of education based mainly on the university where you study. Even if you go to Cambridge or if you go to Harvard, you study there, and that represents what is the local environment and the local application of news into medicine in that part of the world. Now, the international medical courses offer something new today, in particular because globalization means that doctors that have been educated in a country should be able to work immediately in another country without any barrier. So, next slide. study medicine in Italy was not possible, medicine in English was not possible until a few years ago. The International Medical School in Italy developed 12 years ago, so very, very recently, with Pavia, that was the first university having courses in English. Now there are 19 medical schools in Italy, of which 5 are private non-state, rather than private non-state university, but actually are state-controlled, that are Cattolica, Unicampus, Campus Biomedico Unicamilis in Rome, and Humanitas and San Raffaele in Milan, in the two largest cities of Italy. So these schools have been regarded as the highest school in terms of education, in terms of ranking, and also because of the program that they actually offer to the students. Next slide. Well, there is no question that Italy has great tradition in studying medicine. I just remind you that the University of Bologna is the oldest university in Europe, being opened in 1088. And also, Italy is well known for studying medicine because of the high quality of education, but also now because we become to have an international medical community, something that was not possible before because teaching was in Italian. That's the problem. Having teaching in English has completely changed the platform for education. Also because students that are admitted to the Italian courses should pass, in particular non-EU students, should pass the BMAT or the IMAT international test admission, in addition for the Italian and the other European students to do the local test. So we have an international group of students that represent all over the world, students that come from different continents. Next slide. The Italian role into education in medicine has been fostered by the Bologna process. Remember that the Sorbonne Declaration in 1998, when Erasmus, 10 years after the Erasmus, and then the higher education reform known as Bologna process helped a lot to stimulate this international flavor into the Italian course of medicine in Italy. Next slide. So then the question is, why study medicine in Italy, and why what I'm going to tell you is relevant for the relationship between Cyprus and Italy? Then one of the big attraction is the international employment opportunities available to students after graduation. The Italian Medical School, and in particular Campus Biomedico, because of the link with the US, can do the USMLE test while studying. So basically, when you finalize your studies at Campus Biomedico, you could actually try to get into residence in the US, something that even not possible for students of the UK or other European students that do not pass the USMLE test. So that offer immediately an opportunity that other universities do not offer. So, and then as you know, Italian degrees, like degrees from Cyprus, are valid all over European countries and therefore make easy to work even in countries outside Europe. Next slide. Our course is different from the other courses running in Italy, and it's very similar to the courses run in the US and the UK, in particular because it's based on the PBL, on the problem-based learning, that is different from the classical Italian courses. And also, another characteristic of our course that we have an international faculty. For instance, just to give you an example, at Campus Biomedico, biology is taught by Professor of Cambridge. Epidemiology and medical statistics is taught by Professor of San Francisco. Anatomy is taught by Professor Dundee, together with Italian professor. And now that we go into the clinical rotation, we have Professor of Barts in London, Queen Mary University of London, and also from professors of Queen Mary and King's College and Imperial College in London. Next slide. So now the two concepts to make clear here. The humanistic approach that is typical Italian and Latin, because that helps a lot in order to approach patients with different culture. We need to talk to patients, and so communication and judgment skills are part of the program that we teach at our university. Paying special attention to diversity and the value of interfaith dialogue. It will be very difficult for a student that study in one university when there is only one single approach to move to another country and be acquainted with a system that is totally different. So that will facilitate interaction with the other member of faculty, interaction with industries that are locally involved in supporting the university where they're going to work. Next slide. The medicine and surgery program is organized all together, as you can see, in new concept, that is the fundamental of basic science, fundamental of medicine, medical statistics and epidemiology, clinical medicine, and cardiovascular emergencies. So in total, compared to the typical Italian courses of 33 to 34 exam, as you can see, are less exam, but actually are focused mainly on PBL, as I said, and very much integrated. Just to give you an example, if you study cardiology, for instance, in clinical medicine too, you study at the same time pharmacology of the heart, pathology of the heart, and imaging of the heart. You don't get that separately in different courses. So the student can study in a very well integrated manner, and including, for instance, with imaging throughout the courses, with a lot of technology, a lot of industry that collaborate with us with the new technology applied to diagnostic procedure. Here is where we are very strong, and where the link between Cyprus and Italy, and in particular our university, may work well. In particular for diagnostic imaging, because industry is very much interested in new method of diagnosis. The last year is totally dedicated to training in hospital. And therefore, that is where we're going to develop our relation with Cyprus. Next slide. Teaching method, I said, a PBL, international standard, and as you can read here, the core content of the program fully integrate the European specification for global standards in medical education as listed in this slide. I'm going to conclude because I have only 10 minutes. Next slide. And I'm going to say why study at UCBM. As I said, dynamic learning experience, encourage cultural, professional, and personal growth, facilitate the acquisition of skills in a service-oriented spirit, and as far as training environment, the teaching, research, and healthcare take place in a single location with interconnected facilities, as I said, with the different faculty members from different universities, and the well-being of the individual is the ultimate aim of the all activities. And learning, as I said, is fostered by an interdisciplinary approach to science and research. It's just not only medicine, it's science and research, because too much today is devoted only to medical studies, forgetting about the relevance of science and research in medical studies. Finally, the proposal for a collaboration between UCBM and the University of Nicosia Medical School for student clinical rotation. That is the key factor. Now, clinical rotation are something that occur during the year due to 2 semesters. Study medicine abroad could be one possibility, in particular with Cyprus, for the first semester and the second semester, and the application can be taken until May the 31st for the full semester and October 31st for the spring semester of each year. The clinical rotation are established in advance in selected departments of both universities, and also such programs can be organized under the umbrella of the Erasmus Mobility Program. We are very strong, like the University of Nicosia, in this Erasmus exchange, but the Erasmus exchange should occur through clinical rotation, because there is where the doctors, the future doctor, will become to be really international and having a flavor that will actually help them to become more international. The rotation into departments, rather than being the single place where they've been allocated because they're studying in one university. No, that's not the case for the future doctor. You should be exposed to a different areas, different hospitals. And of course, the collaboration with Nicosia Medical School could be extremely important also for industrial relationship as part of what is the chamber doing because of the research that is going in this field. So I stop here and thank you very much. And I hope that this will help the discussion later on.
Thank you very much for your analytical presentation, and also the last page of your presentation is a good occasion in order to address Dr. Annalisa Quattrocci from the Department of Primary Care and Population Health of the University of Nicosia Medical School. Mr. Pozzilli referred to the potential collaboration. So I will give the floor to Ms. Quattrocci so that we will follow up with all developments in her own presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Perfect. So first of all, It's a pleasure to meet you all and an honor for the invitation to represent the unique medical school during this second Cypriot-Italian Health Industry Forum. I'm an assistant professor in epidemiology at the Department of Primary Care and Population Health, and today I'm going to give you an overview of the medical school at UNIC, and also I'm going to focus on something that I believe fits very well with the topic of this forum, that is our new baby master in health services administration, and then I'm going to cover some research opportunities that we would like to introduce and see for possible collaborations. So the medical school is a fairly new school. It was established only 10 years ago, and it comprises two departments: the Department of Primary Care and Population Health, where I belong, and the Department of Basic and Clinical Sciences. We offer several courses. In particular, we offer two degrees in medicine. One is the Doctor of Medicine, that is a classic 6-year program similar to the Italian medical programs, and the entry level is the high school graduation and is completely taught in English. Actually, I have to say that all courses are taught in English at the medical school. We also have an MBBS, that is a Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery, which is in collaboration with the St. George University of London. And this is a 4-year program for which you need a bachelor degree in order to entry. And I want to say that within this course, we also approach the teaching as a problem-based learning, and we also provide a USMLE test for the students who are interested in pursuing a career in the US. Also, this year we introduced a new concept of teaching, that is the interprofessional learning and teaching, and this has been very enjoyed by the students. Learning from different stakeholders in a more comprehensive way. We also offer 3 different masters: one in family medicine for practicing physicians, a master of public health, and the master in health services administration that I'm going to tell you later. And also we have a joint master Erasmus Mundus
money transfer service. Why not try PaySend?
Master in public health in disaster. This is in collaboration with the University of Oviedo, Spain, and the Karolinska Institute in Sweden. And I have to say that this master, especially after and during the pandemic, got a lot of interest from students. And in addition, I just want to say that currently we have several PhD in medical sciences, both in epidemiology and public health, as well as in neuroscience and engineering. Our school is definitely multicultural. We have students from more than 70 countries, spread all over the continent, and more than 200 cities. The University of Nicosia, so not only the medical school, but the University of Nicosia is proud of having a very good international ranking. It was ranked for 2 consecutive years by the Times Higher Education World University Ranking among the top 800 universities in the world, and by the QS Star University Rating that uses several other indicators for ranking the universities. It was rated with 5 stars and among the top 100 universities in the region. The University of Nicosia is also a pioneer in distance learning. Indeed, all the masters that I've told you before are taught through distance learning, and the UNIC was recognized with a triple recognition for excellence in online education. So you can imagine that for us, moving to complete distance learning during COVID was pretty easy, as we already had the structure and the facilities in place. Until 2020, our medical student graduates, more than 99% of our graduates have been offered a position straight after the graduation in more than 200 medical centers around the world. Regarding our department, the Department of Primary Care, we also hold a primary care center that is within the ESE, the National Health System. So it provides a community service for the municipality, but also is a very good center for our students and also our clinical staff to implement some studies, some research. And as I said, we hold 4 graduate programs, and I'm gonna tell you a bit more about the Master in Health Services and Administration. This master has been established in last year, so it's a very recent master, and it's a novel, innovative program for candidates who want to assume an executive leadership position in the health sector field. So the ideal candidate is not only an healthcare or any other health professional who wants to pursue a career in any public or private health sector, but is also suitable for any other professionals in health sciences, life sciences, engineer and business related sector who want to progress in their career in healthcare and healthcare research. This master is also in collaboration with our business school, and is accredited by the Agency of Quality Assurance and Accreditation in Higher Education. It's a 90 ACTS master, and the duration is 18 months for full-time, for the full-time track, or up to 4 years for the part-time. And the school offers also some need-based or merit-based scholarship for those candidates that wish to apply. Just to give you an overview, this master covers not only epidemiology and biostatistics and research methods, but of course, being in collaboration with the business school, covers topics such as management of human resources, clinical systems, health information systems, of hospital operations, and then entrepreneurship, also strategic management, and students can decide to go for an elective part, so mainly course-oriented, or for a research project path, or for an applied field project, such as establishing a business plan or applying new technology in the healthcare system. So the benefit of the program is gaining leadership skills, in particular on health protection and patient safety, or health economics, operation management, human resource management, and this year we actually introduced a module on crisis management. Also apply new technology in health services and foster the use of big data and how big data can help patient care. And as I said, incentive entrepreneurship in health service. If you're interested, there is an upcoming virtual open day on next December, and there are some links for major information. Regarding our research priorities and possible collaborations, our two departments work together on a holistic approach in terms of One Health. One Health is an approach that not only focuses on human health, but also animal health in a healthy and sustainable environment. And the main research areas of our two departments are based on clinical epidemiology, basic science, social and behavioral research. And these are the major topics of both our two departments. Of course, we work as a school together, so there is a lot of cross-departmental and multidisciplinarity collaboration between the two departments. Our department, the Department of Primary Care and Population Health, also offers services and expertise to external organizations and institutions. We support in the study design, from the methodological to the proposal draft. We also offer statistical analysis and also statistical courses. We can support also in cost effectiveness analysis, health technology assessment, or preparation of business plans. And we also support in academic writing, reporting of results, and in grant proposals. We are happy to say that our department is hosting and is the PI of a big project that is called CMOR, is a consortium on monitoring overall and cause-specific mortality from the COVID-19 pandemic. This consortium has already 58 partners spread around the 6 continents. For this consortium, at the moment, we have an open call for one PhD position for one PhD scholarship fully funded, and one postdoc position. This collaboration led already to the publication of one article, and one is still under preprint. And for instance, for Italy, our partner is the University of Perugia. In addition, we are really keen to establish collaboration for future grants. In particular, I think that you all know the Horizon grants. At the moment, there is an Horizon Europe call for the period 21-2027. These Horizon calls are very broad. They cover all the sustainable development goals, so from reducing disparities and reducing determinants of disease, to climate change, sustainable food. So it's a lot of topics that can be explored. I'm just mentioning here some of the most recent calls, or even forthcoming calls, that we are keen to collaborate and looking for partners. And with this, I want to thank you everyone for your kind participation, and I'm really happy to discuss more.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I will now address Mr. Sabino Di Matteo, Site Director and General Manager of Operations of Novartis, for his own speech. Please give us your presentation, Mr. Matteo. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And once again, I'm very proud to be with you this afternoon. It's really a pleasure to show what we basically have here in the south of Italy, specifically in the region Campania, close to Naples. So really thank you so much for this opportunity. I had a lot of very important tools when basically listening to you. I'm imagining the perfect match between innovation, health sector cooperation and basically a link with university related to the, for example, pharma industries that actually I'm representing as site director for Novartis and vice president for the pharmaceutical association here in the region of Campania. So I'm very pleased to show you basically one example of what we are meaning for the the merge of the three main items that we speak so far. So first of all, the picture that you are looking into is basically I think quite a nice one, but there is a lot of content behind, because it's basically the picture representing the footprint of the production plant here in basically close to Naples, where we are one of the most strategical Novartis solids pharmaceutical production plants. So more than 150,000 square meters, basically where we have a very important production for basically all over the world. We are exporting actually in more than 116 countries, and we have basically very important, pharmaceutical forms in terms of main disease. So the oncology part, the cardiovascular, and the neuroscience. But what I would like to show you today, it's basically a new concept that we embraced in our pharma industries since 1 year, basically, and that I think merge in a good way what we discussed so far. So the picture that you are looking into is basically the actual configuration of the campus of Novartis here in Torre Annunziata, so close to Naples, where actually we have the manufacturing plants that we can say is quite innovative one, with a lot of automation and basically innovation in terms of pharmaceutical forms. But since April 2020, there was the possibility to open basically our production site to external environment. And I mean, in particular, biotech, pharma industry, medical devices industries, university center of research. So basically, in April 2020, we founded basically the campus, opening at the moment to 3 new specific companies. One is a biotech that is very you can say particular, even in genomics, and actually is leading the Japan market about some specific point of research. In the meantime, we were able also to host and to incubate some startups. This was basically a quite important innovation for the entire group, and I think even for the region and for the country, where at the moment we have 2 very innovative startups. One is mostly related to very innovative transport systems for pharmaceutical forms by drones. So actually in our site, in our campus, we have a drone port able to host basically drones that basically in a maximum 100 kilometers from here are able to reach even some tough environment and situation. In particular, we used a lot during the first wave of pandemic here in the south of Italy, helping basically even the health authorities to bring, in particular, oncology products and radioligand products, and even the part of screening samples and afterwards even the vaccine across a very difficult area that we have basically in the region. So just to test this innovative solution that actually is a reality in the campus here. It's not the only one innovation that we brought basically in the campus, because we have even another startup, and both are a spin-off from university. So the first one that I mentioned you is a spin-off of University of Pisa, and the other one is a spin-off of University of Salerno, so basically in the region. And actually the second startup is very active in telemedicine. At the moment they implemented by artificial intelligence and some specific sensor, basically a complete infrastructure to monitor oncology patients directly from home. So actually, one of these applications has been implemented, and one of the most important hospitals that we have here for, in particular for oncology part, and actually even the onco division of Novartis in Italy was putting under contracts the startups to have, in addition to the medicine, basically even the service. So this is basically, I think, an innovation quite important for the whole pharmaceutical environment. So it's basically an evolution, because we are providing patient and health system not only with the medicine, but even with the services. And this is basically a very important one. In the meantime, we were able to implement in the campus some specific agreement with university to host academies. In particular, for sure for Novartis, special innovation and project, but even for the external worlds that actually the campus is representing. And I think that there are a lot of opportunity across countries. Cyprus, for example, would be one of the additional link that we can have with the campus, because at the moment we have at least Switzerland, France, Spain, and Italy involved in basically proposing a new entry in the campus, new solution for the campus. So in this way, basically we were able to connect the dots, we can say, in terms of innovation in health industry and research, just to give you the flavor basically of our actual location. We are very close to harbors and airport and the railways. So even from a logistic point of view, we are quite consistent, and clearly I can tell you that our manufacturing plant here is directly shipping more than 100 million specs per year of solid dosage form, basically in all over the world. So we are quite expert about that, and even the logistic part is helping us to do this. There is another aspect that I think is important to be shared with you, is the part of financial benefits that this area is offering actually. Specifically, for the resilience plan that actually in Italy is going to be put in place after the pandemic's waves, and is able basically to restart and to relaunch, we can say, industries. But I think it's very important in general, because still actually all our partners, all the companies entering, even from other countries. So for example, can have the same for Cyprus, is all the benefit in terms of tax credit on asset and the new hirings and basically new automation and innovation that bring us a lot of value for eventual partners coming in this basically in this campus. So it's something very important, was very important even for our partner here, but for sure what is helping to embed the new companies in the campus is clearly our multinational structure that we can put behind the campus. At the moment, we are offering not only clearly spaces and infrastructure, but even services in terms of incubation and support in any condition, because clearly as Novartis, we are equipped to do this. So I will stop here, hoping to have put on the table basically another point for innovation, but very happy to answer your question in case of. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Di Matteo. I would like to welcome in our panel Mr. Sotos Iacovidis, the managing director of one of the biggest financial groups in Cyprus, MSJ Group, with a long history in the pharmaceutical sector. It's an honor to have you with us today to present your company and your presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you also the president of the Cyprus-Italian Chamber of Commerce for organizing this event, and thank you for having me on the panel. I'm ready to start. I will just a second. Okay. Okay, it's basically two sections of my presentation. One is MSJ Group and innovation in MSJ Group, and then innovation in the new national health system. MSJ Group was established in 1944. It includes 9 different legal entities in Cyprus, Greece, and Southeast Europe, and each one is focused in specific healthcare segments. We are a leading trading organization in healthcare in Cyprus and Greece, and we maintain a strong and active presence. We focus on superior quality and innovative product portfolios. Actually, we are active in import, marketing, promotion, sales and distribution, scientific support, regulatory pharmacovigilance services in both private and MOH tenders. Actually, we, as the Cypriot healthcare part, we are the #1 supplier to the Ministry of Health for pharmaceuticals during the past 5 years. We are also leading in the private pharmacy business. We have excellent reputation in the market, and we have trusted professional relationships with the MOH, the hospitals, the pharmacies, and HCPs. We are investing in products with significant growth potential in healthcare. Our vision is basically to embrace and enhance important aspects of life via our distinguished product and services portfolio. Main areas of operation of the MSJ Group. Prescription pharmaceuticals, oncology drugs, biosimilars, biopharmaceuticals, plasma-derived products and blood management, sophisticated medical devices, dermaceuticals, clinical and baby nutrition, dental health, consumer health products, OTC, and also animal health, pet nutrition, and crop and plant protection. We operate these segments via the various legal entities. We have 2 legal entities in Greece. Each one is focused in specific segments of the health industry. And 7 different legal entities in Cyprus. Each one is focused on specific business segments in healthcare. Innovation is a key driver to the MSJ Group. We are striving for innovation in meeting evolving healthcare needs in processes, i.e. automations and IT systems, in products, patented and innovative products, and in services. One example of innovation in processes is that we revolutionized the logistics industry in Cyprus by unifying the efforts of 4 importers under one roof, Marathon Distributors, as a state-of-the-art logistics distribution company to pharmacies in the private sector. Today, the company has a leading position in the market with 38% market share. Innovation in products. This is embodied in our partnership strategy with our suppliers. We constantly explore potential opportunities to cooperate with trusted partners who are well established with global reputation, who are leaders in their area of focus, who are focused on high-end innovative products and biopharmaceuticals, and are also experienced in exports. Innovation in products. Here is an example of cooperation with innovative global companies. In prescription pharmaceuticals, we cooperate with Merck, MSD, AbbVie, and UCB. In biopharmaceuticals with Biogen and Celgene of the United States. In plasma-derived products with Grifols. In medical devices with Haemonetics and Wellspect. in OTC products with Regit Bekizer, in dental health with GAM Sunstar Italy, in early life nutrition and advanced medical nutrition with Nutrition and HIT, and in animal health with Eli Lilly Elanco, Boehringer Ingelheim, and in crop production with BASF Germany. As MSJ Group, we would like to have offers for opportunities from Italian innovative companies, as we are a trusted and credible partner. We have excellent reputation in the markets that we operate. We have a long and successful cooperation with our leading suppliers, and we have a leading product portfolio with innovative lines. Innovation in services. MSJ Group has recently established, actually in 2019, an online shop, FZIN, to handle innovative, high-quality brands of the MSJ Group. We have an efficient and effective e-commerce practice, and we envision to the improvement of health and well-being and quality of life of our population. Now, I will go on another example of innovation in the healthcare industry is the case of the National Health System, YESI. This is actually the biggest transformation in Cyprus in the recent decades. It has revolutionized all sectors of the healthcare industry. It has created great potential for investment in enhanced products and services. How did MSJ respond to the new healthcare system? We have adapted to YESI basically by upgrading our IT systems and by restructuring our organization. In products, we are giving emphasis on products that are compatible with YESI strategy and coverage. And in services, we have adapted our market strategy to follow the current trends. Some important numbers: 914,000 are registered as with personal doctors. There are 960 personal doctors and 1,897 specialized doctors, 568 pharmacies, 56 hospitals, and 154 laboratories, and 46 radiodiagnostic centers are registered at YESI. YESI is a universal system. Everyone is allowed to join and be a beneficiary of YESI. All doctors can be registered as YESI members, and also personal doctors can have access to specialized services. Prescription pharmaceuticals under YESI are available to patients with minimum fee or copayment. Basic information on YESI: the phase 1 actually commenced in June 2019 and phase 2 in June 2020. I don't want to go into too much detail on this, just to mention that there are 3 categories of medicines. It's generic of patent, Me Too, and innovative sole. Lifestyle and OTC products are not covered by YESI, and vaccine procurement is under the Ministry of Health. Currently, there are 1,881 medicines registered in YESI catalog. 73% are generic, 17% are Me Too, and 10% innovative sole. That's it. Thank you for your time and for inviting me to be part of this panel.
Thank you, Mr. Iacovidis, for the detailed presentation, and also not only for your company or the national healthcare system in Cyprus. It's important for our Italian colleagues to get a glimpse of what is the so-called YESI. Now, according to the schedule, we would have with us Mr. Marco Ferlaccio. We have instead of Mr. Ferlaccio, Michaela Stancheris, so that we will give the floor to her in order to give us the presentation on behalf of the private hospital that she represents. The floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Very well.
Perfect. I'm sorry you see me a little bit in the dark. I'm working from home because I had a baby of 2 months, so I am in a room aside the apartment. Otherwise, she wakes up. So I'm sorry. That's why I am here in the dark. And I am sorry that Marco is not present at the moment, but today we had a strong reform in health in our system, so he's working with his consultants in the company. But I am sure he will be informed of all the interesting panelists I've listened since now. I'm representing a company, orthopedic company based in Messina, in Sicily. And we are a company that share with Cyprus the insular situation, but we can develop many very big projects thanks to international relationship and new project. And of course, COVID has helped us in going out from physical relationship and enlarging our relationship abroad. I want to thank Mr. Marino because he's keeping very frequent this relationship. I think it's very important because COVID doesn't permit to meet, but we still want to come and see and share with you our perspectives. I have made a little presentation that I will do very, very fast. I will share it with you. This is just to show you. You can see it?
Yes, very well.
Okay, just to show it, this is our main building in Messina, and we are present over there since 1977. We are accredited to National Health System, but we have as well an accreditation in Joint Commission International. So we have worked with other companies that are accredited like us in JCI. And we have as well an ISO certification. So I think it's a good point to start for international relationship we have. We already have patients coming from Russia, where we have built strong relations with some companies and some cases that are sometimes very hard to manage in the country, so they can come to our company, as well with Kosovo and as well with Greece. We have another little branch in Milan and another little one on Lipari Island, which is another little island close to Sicily. Just to have an idea of what we do, we have orthopedics is our main functional unit, and then we have internal medicine that has been developed in the last 2 years because of COVID, because as you know, the rehabilitation after COVID sometimes is very strong, so we have worked on this sector. Cardiology, vascular surgery, rehabilitation, and intensive care. We are moving a lot on day hospital and day surgery, since now technology permits to work a lot on day hospital and day surgery. I'm here today to show you some of the system we have developed in our company. We have worked a lot on the orthopedic side. We already do 3D printings on specific patients, but we have an innovation center. Of course, it's smaller than Novartis one, that is very, very interesting. But we have a small group of people that is working on developing new products, like the one I'm showing you. It's a emotion platform, which permits you to speak with the PC and our doctor and see how movements are working. This was the first project we had. Then we developed from this project a larger project with all these wearable systems that you can apply on your body and see on your rehabilitation how you are working on your goals. From this smart wearable system, we have developed the show motion home for COVID. So we are controlling and checking how is health going from home. This has been made with a NCS group, which is a group based in north of Italy, and it's part of a national fund we won in 2019. Moving forward to other project we have this project called Platform, that is a project where we apply on our patients some products that companies are developing. I've heard the speaker spoke before me, and I think we are very interested in trying to share some goals and perspective we have in the research area. The last strong collaboration we have is with CNR. Maybe some of you know the National System of Research. So is a strong institute for research in Italy that is based all over the nation. And we have at the moment ambulatory open for a disease on health related to food and obesity in childhood. So it's very interesting the part I've heard in the speaker before regarding the research on with HIP, for example, that is a very interesting company relating to babies and good quality food development in little babies, and in particularly on the wrong diet we have sometimes due to a little knowledge in this area. Another project we have on international cooperation is in Palestine. So we are working with our agency of development and cooperation to develop ambulatories in Palestine and help the people to have with telemedicine all the support they need in this area. So unfortunately, it didn't start last year because of COVID, but it will start next year with the physical presence of our doctors. I have ended my presentation, of course, regarding the innovation part that is not my specific. We can share it if you're interested with our responsible. We are strongly open to international relationships. So I think since I've seen a bit the panelists of today, we can work very well on relationship on the New Horizon. So the Dottoressa Quattrocchi was speaking about that. I think you have all the panelists that can share this project on Horizon. We are very, very interested, of course, in human resources. I don't know how is in Cyprus the situation, but we really need doctors. We really need human resources that are working, particularly in this moment. I've seen the numbers of doctors you involve in the project you have explained before. We are very interested in developing relation with the orthopedician in particular. Just to be a bit punctual on what we need and what we would like to share with you. Of course, we are open as well to share the market and the possibility to share patients on specific matters or specific health problems. And we would very happy to be there and of course have time to have more, of course, ideas develop when you are there in presence. So of course it will be, I hope, in 2022. I thank you very much. I'm open for all the questions and I'm sorry, my English is a bit with 1 year out of work. I have been sleeping on my English, but it will be better next year, I hope. Thank you very much.
And all the best to the new baby.
Exactly.
indeed, human resources, it's an issue in all sectors, and definitely more in the health sector during this pandemic. So we have it in Cyprus too. Normally, we would have with us Mr. Andreas Pitas, the founder and executive chairman of Medochemi. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it, so I will proceed directly to Mr. Davide Campari, General Manager of Medical Business Domain of Fujifilm Italia. I think that it's a good opportunity to have a very big company here in Cyprus, like Fuji. Please give us your presentation, Mr. Campari.
Thank you very much. Do you see my screen? I hope. Do you see the screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. So, first of all, good afternoon, and I would address my best greetings to all the Italian and Cypriot authorities and guests. Thank you very much to the Chamber of Commerce for inviting me to this important healthcare industry forum. As Fujifilm Italy, we recently signed a distributorship contract with a Cypriot company, Relia Trading, and so we are planning to start with them now to work in Cyprus to support any needs in the healthcare field. So now I would just spend a few minutes with you sharing what is the strategic direction of Fujifilm in the healthcare business. And I would start from a very short video.
After pioneering photographic film, we made it our mission to help change the world. In healthcare, our imaging expertise in AI technology aims to help diagnose disease earlier. But why stop there, when we can apply our expertise in cell biology and specialized technologies to help make vital vaccines and treatments available to all? We'll never stop innovating for a healthier world. Fujifilm, value from innovation.
Okay, thank you. The most important message of this short video is that healthcare is becoming the most important pillar for Fujifilm, and this is the strategic direction also for the future. But how did Fujifilm come to this transformation from the original business in the photographic field? When we talk about Fujifilm, we are talking of a company founded in 1934 in Japan, but after just 2 years in 1936, Fujifilm entered in the medical business with the production of X-ray film. In the last fiscal year, Fujifilm achieved a total turnover of around 21 billions of US dollar, has more than 300 subsidiaries all over the world. I talk about this business transformation from the traditional business of Fujifilm in the photographic because, as you can see in this slide, just 10 years ago, 20 years ago in 2001, most of the revenue of the Fujifilm were coming from the imaging, traditional photo film imaging business, around 54%. And the medical business weight was around 12%. But as you know, as all of us experienced, around 2000, there was the peak worldwide in the sales and demand of photo film for the traditional photo camera business. But after that, it came to decrease dramatically year by year, up to become totally not used more today. And so Fujifilm, I have to say that during the 90s, decided to, expecting this trend in the traditional photo imaging business, decided to create new pillars for the future based on these 4 specific areas: healthcare, materials, business innovation, and imaging. And so year by year, we also applied our core technologies originally used in the traditional photo imaging business, also for the several healthcare applications. This is just an example. The face detection technology or the image intelligence technology are also included in our artificial intelligence platform that is called Riley. Also, our long experience in the broadcast lenses has been used more and more in the production of the endoscopy lenses that are another part of our pillars in the medical business. So as a result, in the past 20 years, you can see in this chart that the weight of the healthcare and material solution grew a lot, up to the 48% of last fiscal year. And this is the direction of the company. This transition, this change of the skin of the company has been done thanks to the advanced research laboratories, the huge investment made by Fujifilm in R&D, but also thanks to the several strategic merger and acquisition done in the healthcare division during the past 10 years. I just want to mention as the last one happened in 2021, last April, the acquisition of the Hitachi diagnostic imaging related business that completed our portfolio in the X-ray, including CT, MRI scanners, and the high level of ultrasound. So this is our plan for the future. The plan is work more and more in the care, taking consideration the environment, the daily life, and the working style of the communities all over the world. What is Fujifilm in Europe? In Europe, Fujifilm is present since 1966 with a regional headquarters, 17 countries. One of these obviously is Italy. Italy is considered today one of the most important subsidiaries for Fujifilm in Europe and also in the world, considering, just to mention to you, that, for example, for what refer to the pure medical informatics business, Fujifilm Italy weight a lot inside the Fujifilm entire group, is in the 3rd position after Japan and US. These great results have been also achieved because in Italy we have also an R&D center dedicated to the development of specific software for the care. And this is surely has been an added value for the great success of Fujifilm Italy subsidiary during the years. In the past 3 years, more than 5 billion euros have been invested in R&D. And thanks to these great investments, we created specific areas in prevention, diagnosis, and treatment. Prevention as a producer and manufacturer of biocomponents and life science support. Diagnosis for all concerned the medical system business as X-ray system, CT, MRI, digital mammo, digital room, portable solution, but also endoscopy. We are one of the leading company in the flexible endoscopy business, IVD, diagnostic in vitro, ultrasound, and as I told before, medical informatics. and also treatment. Fujifilm made big investments in the past years in the pharmaceutical and regenerative medicine. So at the end, I would say to you that our goal for the next years is at the end create new value and solve a social issue, combining our technology of artificial intelligence as a cap that can collect and link all our portfolio of product into a one-stop solution. This one-stop solution especially has been developed considering the latest acquisition of Hitachi medical business, because today we can count under the platform, the IT platform of O'Reilly, a lot of solution in the X-ray field, starting from diagnostics as digital mammo and portable solutions, CT, MRI, again endoscopy, IVD, and ultrasound system. So the approach of Fujifilm is more and more to become a partner that can try to support and solve the needs of our potential customer, of the healthcare institution, offering a one-stop solution under the cap of the informatics solution. This is very important from our point of view. And I believe that also the experience of the COVID pandemic will bring us more and more in utilizing the information technologies as a good link of all the modalities necessary in the healthcare institutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Campari. It's really important to see the size and the activities of the transformation of Fuji into a more health-oriented organization. Last but not least is not Antonio Simeone according to the schedule, but on his behalf, we will have Mirko De Maide that will give the presentation, the last presentation as we are approaching the closure of this session. Please.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Of course, and we can see your screen too.
Good. So I start the presentation. So thank you very much. First of all, for having me today. I'm in substitution for Mr. Simeone, as you were just mentioning. And so together with Mr. Simeone, we've been working on this project I will talk about today. I will quickly present the company first, which is Movex. It's a consultancy firm specialized in the development of innovative digital solutions in a variety of fields. It's actually quite young company, both in terms of age of the company and also in terms of average age of people working with us, which is around 28 years of age. And we've been focusing very much, we have a great interest in the emerging technologies, in particular artificial intelligence and blockchain, for which we created 2 specific competence centers, exploring these 2 technologies in a variety of fields, including, of course, healthcare, on which I will focus in just a few seconds. Just few words about myself. I'm head of innovation in Movex, been working in European e-health research project in the Horizon Europe program, and even before in the FP7 program, and currently in the Horizon 2020, now Horizon Europe. I've been managing few projects. I'm here displaying few of them. In particular, My Health, My Data was the first project in Europe trying to explore the usage of blockchain technology for managing health data. And I'm active in a variety of international associations, in particular the International Association for Trusted Blockchain Application, for which I'm co-chair of the healthcare working group. So just to give some context about my previous experience in this field. With Mobilex, we have been looking into the health domain quite a lot, and been exploring a set of solutions in different use case scenarios. In particular, AI for automated ACG analysis. I will talk about that specifically, but we also explored the usability of artificial intelligence for remote monitoring of people, in particular elderly people in frailty condition. And we are also exploring more recently the usability of distributed data management systems for starting using patient-generated data in a GDPR compliant way for preventive activities. But let me start with the focus of my presentation today, which is the usability of artificial intelligence in cardiology. The field is quite well explored also in literature. Several research institutions and private companies been working on this to use machine learning based system for diagnosis, recognition, prediction of cardiological pathologies, which might be not entirely evident from the analysis of an ECG, even for an expert eye, and a variety of pathologies or conditions can be detected through ECG. Recent studies, actually a study which has been published something like 10 days ago on circulation, which is a very important journal in this field, has been demonstrating the usability of AI-based tool to predict atrial fibrillation quite in advance before the actual acute events eventually occur. Now, on the basis of this growing interest in the usage of artificial intelligence in cardiology, Mobilex developed a system which exploit basically an innovative neural network approach based on self-supervised learning to identify, first of all, the correlation between ACG signal and a variety of diagnoses, which you can see there, in particular myocardial infarction and hypertrophy. Here is missing the atrial fibrillation, of course, as well. And basically, the system allows the automatic analysis of the ECG, the classification of the kind of diagnosis we have in front of us, so supporting the expert cardiologists in analyzing this data at a population level. As I mentioned before, we approached the issue using an innovative self-supervised learning solution. And this solution is also quite different from others because we also combine other kind of patient data, including age, sex, weight, and height, so that we can reduce the number of false negatives that can actually happen quite often in this kind of activities, in particular for specific kind of pathologies. And after the data normalization, sampling, and standardization, the system which we developed can actually associate the ECG with a given diagnosis quite in an effective and precise manner. The output of the system is basically a number, of course, which basically it's either 0, not associated with any condition, or 1, highly strongly associated with a condition. And in this image I'm displaying here, you can see, for example, that this ECG, which was already classified with the label of myocardial infarction, has been recognized with a 99.9% precision by our system being associated with myocardial infarction. So demonstrating the effectiveness of the system in actually recognizing automatically the condition we have at hand. We use for making the whole process, which is very important. Actually, I want to stress this point because in Mobilex, we are trying to develop our solution in a way that are really compatible with the latest requirement set forth by the European Commission in this area. As you know, there is a quite important set of information about the trustworthy AI. So there is a whole bunch of ethical element and issues to be considered when using artificial intelligence, in particular in the area of healthcare. So the usability, the usage of activation map, as I'm displaying here, can reduce the uncertainty about the decision process that the algorithm made for getting to its conclusion. So from the activation map, we can understand which place in the ECG actually triggered the most the final conclusion of the algorithm, which is very important to understand how the algorithm, again, made this decision. And this is also interesting to start classifying or identifying new phenotypes associated with specific ECG, even when they are, let's say, they look normal, but they can actually hide some signal of a future acute event on which we, on this area, we are very much focusing right now. I will say something about that in few seconds. So this approach actually, we have been also looking into the literature. It's been used by several research center and institution to strengthen the capabilities and the usability of the system. So we're very happy that now this is becoming kind of a mainstream or very advanced, to be honest, solution in this area. Sorry. So as I mentioned, the system is using a self-supervised learning approach, which actually facilitates quite a lot the training of the system, because we do not require the dataset to be labeled by a human operator in beforehand. And so this facilitates quite a lot usability and also the development of this system. And the plus of the usage of the self-supervised learning approach is that then you can also extract more detailed patterns and produce really a process for deep phenotyping, which would not be possible with fully labeled data. So this is a very innovative approach we are using, and it's quite successful, as I will show in a second. And in this area, we are, I would say, one of the first companies using this at this level for this specific task. And as you can see here, we use a PTB XL, which is a public dataset available for this kind of studies. And as you can see from the table displayed here on the right of the slide, our solution bet all the other solutions in this area, even the ResNet 1D, which is being developed by the MIT. So we reached very high performance of our system in this area using the very same dataset these other research centers been using so far. So we are very proud that our system actually performed so well, and this encouraged us actually in pursuing a more accurate validation with real world data, which is actually, I will skip this one because we are now establishing a cooperation with one research innovation center, Sacro Cuore Don Calabria in Veneto, which is led the department by Professor Molon. We are now under discussion to finalize the agreement, so to move forward with the study. And we will validate our system with 1,000 patients with a diagnosis of atrial fibrillation. So we will focus on atrial fibrillation plus a control group. And we will be able to validate the performance of the classification system, as I just showed you. But also, we will also demonstrate the capability of our system in identifying biomarkers, let's call it that, to predict the risk of future acute event on the basis of healthy ECG. This is very important because this actually addresses an existing issue in cardiological department, because they have to decide every day what kind of monitoring activities or therapy to be given to each patient. And we will provide the cardiologist with an innovative decision support system that can facilitate the identification of specific activities or therapies to be given to a specific patient on the basis of its own data. So at the end of this process of validation, we will have the proof of accuracy and usability of our system in real world scenarios. And hopefully this will become also soon available for cardiological department and also for emergency room. And with this, this is just the bibliography if you want to focus on any of these aspects. And I thank you very much for the occasion of sharing with all of you these developments. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. De Marte, for this innovative presentation, for this innovative project of your company. And we wish every success during this final testing period. We are 10 minutes late, so I will ask Federico Francina. I'm sure he will be short in the conclusion. I will give him the last words. A big thank you for everybody for the very innovative and interesting presentations. I wish you to be healthy, stay healthy during this difficult period, and to be soon together in a physical form of event. Federico.
Thank you, Kostas. You already stood the conclusion, so I can say all thank you very much, and I can conclude with a few words. Stay safe. Hope to see you soon. But beyond this, it is important to highlight the great contribution that you and your colleagues, your employees are doing and are delivering every day in different fields. We have seen how is complex the healthcare from those that are in the practical area every day. I mean, the Professor Pozzilli and also the colleague, his colleague, Professor Quattrocchi, but also those that are involved in the pharmaceutical, in the run and manage of the hospital, and last but not least, those companies, those people that are involved in the technology, in the healthcare diagnostics. Well, the healthcare is continuing changing. We see beyond the pandemic the growth of elderly people, the growth of the rising healthcare cost, the growing numbers of elderly people, issue related to like in Cyprus is not the experience that we have in Italy, the presence of the insurance, and so the people that are not falling in the very basic healthcare treatment, but also new and emerging infectious disease. We are now seeing something with COVID-19, but it is important to remind that in so many countries that are close to us, Northern Africa, Middle East, we already and we still have so many diseases that are not completely defeated. And also the issue about the data, about the new technology that requires not an individual or a single stand-alone country activity. So what I can say again to my deep appreciation and gratitude for your work, the fact that we are now here despite the virtual is also your contribution and your work that allow us to be alive. But the future also, and the pandemic has also taught us that the way forward is cooperation, is the collaboration between companies, between institutions, between countries. Because healthcare has not borders. The pandemic is clearly showing us that no borders are when we are dealing with health, with disease, and so on. So the strong stone and the strong pillar is the cooperation. So welcome again to everybody. Thank you again. My wishes to everybody, to Michela, that I see involved in a very nice moment, and I don't want to disturb her and her son once again. So thank you very much, and see you soon in presence or in other events. Thank you again.